So hello everyone, my name is Shane, and for those of you who don't know me, I was fortunate enough to be the TEDx speaker last year at TEDx UCID's very first event. Woo! We're going third year now, so the third semester now, going strong. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm a TEDx speaker. I'm also a professional pianist. So I've been playing the piano for the last 20 years, and now I provide musical experiences for couples as they walk down the aisle. And alongside piano, I'm also a content creator. I love making videos. And I make videos about my life and my story, my journey in life, and I put them on social media to inspire others to take action and be courageous and be confident. And I thought before we start presence and storytelling, which are the aspects I'm going to cover today, I thought it's probably most appropriate if I share a story with you all. Because I wasn't always like this. You see, me standing on stage, me playing the piano and content creating. I wasn't always like this. And this was me. These 4 pictures pretty much accurately describe how I was in primary school and high school. You can see me on the very left. I was at a dance party and I'm wearing Nike and jeans and thongs. No one was wearing thongs that night. And in the second photo, I'm standing there awkwardly staring at the camera. And that's how I used to smile. Because no one taught me how to smile. No one taught me how to act in front of the camera. No one taught me how to pose. And so that used to be my default facial expression. And then the last 2 photos, they were captured at probably one of my lowest times in my life. Now, I was bullied a lot as a kid. I was bullied a lot. I struggled making friends and people wouldn't listen to me. I struggled a lot with self-confidence and I was very self-conscious and I was very shy, very awkward. And I had a lot of pimples, as you can see, and I had a huge pimple on my nose. I remember people would call me Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And it would hurt me so much. And I remember there would be times when every time my friends would introduce me to strangers, they would go up to him and say, "Hey, just letting you know, Shane, he's a bit of an interesting guy. He's very awkward, very introverted. And his humor is so weird. Just letting you know." And I could hear that in the corner of my ear, and it was so, I could hear, did they not know that I was there? And so I struggled with this for so long, self-confidence, and I struggled with this all the way until my final year of high school. And that's when I realized, if I can't make friends with anyone else, if no one can make friends with me, I'm gonna make friends with myself. I'm gonna become best friends with myself. And so I started doing these challenges I set for myself, like drinking 4 liters of water a day, limiting my screen time to 30 minutes, and doing daily chores to help out the family, like mowing the lawn and doing the laundry and washing the dishes. And I would record myself doing these after every day and document my progress. And I want to show you a video of me doing that.
Day 4 of the challenge.
Let me.
May the 8th. And in addition,
Hang on.
so today is day 4 of the challenge, May the 8th. And in addition to what I've said before, I do want to add another challenge for myself, which is mainly for the videos I record. It's been more engaging.
And that was 6 years ago. I can't bear to watch any more of that. I was struggling so hard. I managed to do all these things for 30 days, but the one thing I tried to improve and I couldn't improve was my communication skills. I worked on this for so hard, and I realized you could see a lot of ums and ahs, filler words. I wasn't very confident. And I tried to improve this skill, but this limiting self-belief that I had on myself, like, oh, I'm not gonna be as talkative as them, like, I'm not born with this skill. I'm never gonna be like them. People are just born with it, they're talented, they're lucky. And I had this skill, I had this limiting belief all the way until my first year of university. And that's when I discovered there was this one thing that helped me become a better communicator. And that was alcohol. And that's probably not what you were thinking. Alcohol. This was me for my first year of university. I was partying most weekends, going out with my friends, because when everyone else is drunk and when you're drunk, no one cares what they say. They're more confident. You're able to speak whatever you want and you're able to make more friends. So that was me I'm pretty sure these were taken on the same weekend. And I struggled with this for so hard, for so long. And it wasn't until 3 years ago where I decided that, I'm also a very health conscious person. I want to look after my health, and I don't want my liver to expire by the time I'm 60. And so I decided that I can't rely on alcohol anymore. I needed to do something to myself. And so I discovered 3 years ago, I was scrolling on social media, and I discovered this guy called Vinh Giang. Has anyone heard of Vinh Giang? Raise their hands. Some people? Okay. Vinh Giang. If you guys don't know him, he's a storytelling expert, communication expert, public speaking master. And I was fascinated. I saw this guy because, first of all, he was Asian, and I'm Asian, and he's Australian, and I'm also Australian, and he used to be horrible at public speaking. And at that time, I was so bad at public speaking. And so I decided to binge watch all of his videos that night. And since that day, 3 years ago, I've invested thousands of dollars into this skill that I was once ashamed for, my communication skills. Thousands of dollars into workshops, into courses, into these events, just to work on this one skill. And this is me today. Now I want to share a few moments up here. This top left, does anyone recognize the location? This is Darling Harbour. This is me singing in public in Darling Harbour, doing singing in public challenges, just like what you guys were doing with Baby Shark. I was trying to overcome my social anxiety, trying to become more confident, and that has been 3 years in the work of me working on my communication skills. And by working on this skill, I was able to develop more friendships and more meaningful friendships, greater connections. But most importantly, actually I will point out this one as well. I held up a sign saying, "Can I stay at your house tonight?" in Melbourne, in the middle of Melbourne CBD. And I ended up staying at a stranger's house. It was the best time of my life. And most importantly is the top right. That's me and Vin, my mentor. And I'm fortunate enough I was able to tell him how much he's had an impact on my life and how much he's able to shape the person I am today. Because I wouldn't be here without him. So a lot of what I'm about to share with you today is huge credit to Vin as well. And so, but why am I sharing this with you? I share this with you because it took me 3 years of relentlessly working on this skill for me to finally come to realize that I could look at the young Shane and tell him, "Hey, you're not always going to be this awkward, shy kid. Things can change. Things will get better." And so I invite you to lean in, because communication skills, storytelling, public speaking, these are all learnable skills that you can learn and develop. And maybe they don't come naturally for you like it did for me. And that's okay. Because over the next 30, 40 minutes of what I'm about to teach you, you're able to apply the exact blueprint of what I've learned through presence and the exact storytelling formula that I'm able to use in my TED Talk from last year so that you guys can apply it immediately into your own life and start telling better stories. Okay, let's get into it.